Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mentor Age Pacific. Here we are at the MDotMakeup studio at the moment, and we're going to be interviewing Michelle. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And this is cool. I kind of like the setup in here.
Thank you. I tried.
So let's jump into the first question. So
Okay.
share one thing that people might not know about you.
A lot of people don't know. I've kind of been on the fence of like how to answer this, but I think I'll share it. I guess one of the main reasons why I'm so visual is because I actually have a hearing impairment, so I wear hearing aids. So a lot of the time I have trouble hearing things, so I think that's why I'm really good on like one-on-one settings. So if you get me in a crowd, I'm kind of awkward.
Okay.
So I guess that's why I'm sort of to myself a lot, is because of that.
And how long have you been wearing the hearing aids? Is this recent?
I've been wearing it for a while.
For a while now?
Yeah, it was something that I was born with.
Okay.
So my issue is that I don't hear low tone. So like speaking to men especially is really like a challenge for me. And then in like crowd settings, if there's too much noise happening, I have trouble like focusing on one specific sound. So I don't know. Some people know that. I don't know.
Okay.
Everyone knows
So
that.
guys, speak up.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's your story? How did you get to where you are today?
Okay, I guess this makeup journey sort of started in 2000 when I was fresh out of high school. And then I was on my own in San Diego, where I'm originally from. And like when I was 18, I looked like I was 15. So going out and getting a job was really difficult because they didn't believe that I was 18. So and my parents were, my dad was in the Navy, so they were stationed elsewhere, so I couldn't really like go to them for help. So a friend of mine found this place where they sort of teach you, it was more of like a talent agency where they teach you how to walk and pose and stuff like that. But they also had makeup courses, and I really just wanted to look like an adult, like a girl, you know? So I went, we took the course, and then that was it. I didn't take the course because I wanted to be like a makeup artist. I took it purely because I wanted to learn. And then found that I had like a knack for it, you know? So that's where it started. And then later on in life, I ended up in Philippines trying the showbiz life. So I was out there for a couple of years and had to do my makeup more often, and you know, it just sort of, my skills level just sort of grew from there. And then I got to Guam, and people here I found really there was a need for it here. And so people would ask me to do their makeup, and it just word of mouth. You know, especially on Guam, you know what I mean?
Pretty quick.
Word of mouth is strong here, is powerful. So they would tell their friends, and their friends would tell their friends, and then that's just how it grew. And then in between that time, I also ended up going to the Art Institute and getting my degree, and in something totally different. And when I was out here, I was working, and they sort of, because I would take leave, like I would take sick days just to do my makeup gigs. And basically they told me, like, my boss was like, you should try it, just do it full time, because you know, you're calling out so much, and you know, when you come back you're so happy and like, oh my gosh, guess what I did, you know. And then when you're here doing, you know, I'm at a desk and I'm doing design work, I'm on the computer, and like when you're here, you're not really here. But when you come back from doing your gigs, you're so like happy. You should try it. If you know, if it doesn't work out, you can always come back, which is weird because they closed down. So like, if this doesn't work out, I don't know what my plan B is. But so I tried it, and that was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. So I've been doing it full time since.
So with doing makeup or anything along your career path, so you talked about a desk job. Were there some like struggles that you had either sitting at the desk or starting to do makeup that you wanted to share?
I mean, well, okay, so I was doing interior design, so it's sort of, to me, it's sort of the same, like, you know, putting together shapes and colors and everything is sort of the same, but then it's just you're by yourself at a desk and you're just looking at a computer all day, and it was just like, it was very lonely, and like you just get bored. I mean, not saying I love it, I still love it, like, you know, I'm still like, you know, I browse like tons of magazine stuff, but then don't know, just the office job is just not for me. I don't know if I could do like a 9 to 5 anymore.
I feel the same.
Right?
I mean,
when you just sort of start making your own schedules, especially when you have family.
Yep.
That was actually another reason why I ended up, like, maybe I should try this, because I had twins.
Okay.
So when I had twins, I felt like I was also doing this 9 to 5 just to pay for their daycare. So, and daycare for when they were that young was really expensive, and I'm like, I'm just working to pay for somebody else to take care of my kid when I could do it myself. So doing this, I'm able to, like, work around their schedule, and I can be home with them. I can pick them up from school and everything. It's been rough. Well, how did my brand start? My brand, I don't feel like I started working on my brand until after I quit my job, because Instagram wasn't around at that time, or I wasn't as popular. Yeah, so the story of how MDotMakeup came to be was I found out that people were posting pictures. I mean, there was Facebook, but I'm not, like, I'm more a visual person. So when I found out at Instagram it was all pictures, I was like, this is dope. Like, and the whole hashtag thing, and saw that people were sharing their work, and it was very inspiring. I was like, oh, they're sharing their work, I can share mine too. So I started posting my stuff, and then I was like, okay, I need to come up with a name. So my name is Michelle Dotdot. Dotdot is a real last name, I promise. And so I wanted it to be MDotMakeup, but apparently it was taken already.
We got that one. We're gonna look for that one later.
I shortened it to MDotMakeup. Honestly, if I had known that, like, it was gonna be as popular as, like, or as known, as it is now, I probably would have sat and put a little bit more thought into that.
Okay, so for the kids now, they're looking, and for the most part, we're always talking about mentors. And so, were there any mentors that were instrumental in, like, you becoming who you are, or getting into makeup or interior design? Anybody that pushed you and inspired you?
I have a ton of people, more like my family. I have a very, like, artistic family. I do have a makeup artist cousin who was a MAC trainer in Philippines, and he sort of, like, seeing his work, and he would post it on Facebook and everything, was really inspiring. And he would always give me, like, tips and pointers and everything like that. But from that, and also the course that I took, so then from that basic foundation that I had, I would take, because I was doing the Instagram thing, and Instagram back then, it was very, like, the makeup community was kind of small. Like, I was on Instagram before algorithms. And so it was more like we were there to just create, inspire, and that was what it was. So then I would get my inspiration from other artists, but then now it's because of algorithms. Like, I don't know, Instagram for me is not the same. I mean, I always have love for Instagram, but I mean, like, the whole you have to post at a certain time, the hashtag, this and that. It was a little much for me, so I find my inspiration, if not on Instagram, and just other local artists also. Like, I work with a ton of artists now, and no matter their skill level, they have something to create, and you can get inspiration from that. From a lot of, like, also, like, the seasonal colors. Like, right now, Pantone's color for 2019 is Living Coral, and I think it's beautiful. And I'm, like, already, like, coming up with different looks in my mind, like, stuff like that.
So thinking, like, 10 years back for the kids that are there, and also for yourself, like, if you were to give yourself advice from 10 years ago, whether to, like, speed up, to slow down, or if there's anything that you would tell yourself not to do, what would that piece of advice be?
I mean, everyone probably says this, but I would say more, like, believe in yourself more. If I could tell myself to not be afraid and just listen to my instinct and know that you could do it, because I feel like fear held me back a lot. Like, I started my makeup career in fear because, like, because my hearing impairment, like, I felt like that held me back, because I'm like, oh no, I gotta talk to them, or what if I can't hear them? So that was always my issue. So I think if you just get past that fear and know that you can do it. If you just take that first jump, like, you'll be fine after that. You just have to know, I think you have to know the value of yourself and trust that.
Okay, so we're gonna go the opposite direction. Let's say
Okay.
plus 10 years. We're gonna mess around a little bit and project a little.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself at in 10 years from now?
Wow. There's a couple things that we're working on right now that is huge for me, because this I've been telling people about this for like years, and I never really took the jump. But then now I took the jump, and so things are happening now that some products are going to be coming out, which I'm really excited about. Right now it's still in product development, so hopefully this takes off, and I'm really trying to take my time and create something that I would want to use myself, you know. So yeah, taking my time, I think. But you know, in 10 years, hopefully it's successful, and it's something that a legacy that I can leave for my kids to take on for the future. Because I think now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to think more of like I'm more aware of my mortality. So it's like, what am I going to leave behind when I'm gone? So sort of right now in the process of creating that legacy for my kids, and other artists after me can take with them. I work with a lot of corporate companies right now, so then a lot of the stuff that I do on the weekday is a lot of the corporate stuff. So I do a lot of UNO and KUAM and Docomo and things like that. But like the weekends for me is like the fun stuff, and that's when everyone's going to events and parties. So for me, that's when I get to be creative, and I also do things like what we did with Leslie, that whole libretto shoot, and you don't have to get paid for everything, even if it's just for you to create. Like for me to sort of spark my creativity again, I'll do those certain things. And if I get a really good look that starts a trend out of it, awesome. But it's more of me just constantly trying to be creative and not sort of staying stuck in the same.
All right, guys, we're gonna thank Michelle for being on the show today. Once again, this is an episode from Mentor Asia Pacific. See you guys next time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, right on. Thanks guys for tuning into Mentor Asia Pacific. Once again, I'm Alvin Songa. Check out all our social media, that's going to be linked down below. Stay tuned, more mentors are to come. We're going to be releasing a mentor every week. And please leave a comment down below for any mentors that you'd like to be featured on the channel, any business professional, entrepreneur, or anybody that you believe is inspiring and can provide to be a mentor for the youth of Guam. Until next time, thank you very much. Songa out.